if it's working right away. I'm always nervous that I've forgotten something.
You forget something?
Yeah.
Doubtful. Alright, I think the preview should be up. Hey, hey. How are you? Usually you, or do you want to turn it on and see if you're a tester? You know what will get tested today is the noise mics. They're outdoor volleyball. Sounds like they're in a gym a little bit.
Got a little bit of echo in there. We'll crank that down a little bit. We don't need so much of that today. Yeah, Mike, it is wonderful to be back here. It's been a strange journey this far, but we're glad for whatever we can have to be a part of this great sport. It's wonderful to be outside. It's great weather. Perfect summer day.
It is beautiful. I don't know. It looks like we got 8 ladies and a guy. I don't know who that is. But,
I've seen him someplace.
Yeah.
They're trying to catch a bus.
Our entertaining crowd is like calling you play.
I watched the Olympic match. Chinese against SK and Jerry Walsh and their announcer, the PA announcer, they were playing music.
Sure.
Every time the ball hit the minute it hit the center, it was entertaining. This was the first time. Man, what a fantastic setting that was.
A little bit of wind. I'm trying to figure out if it's likely that.
It could be these two, but yeah, the wind's always that's not going to be real effective.
Yeah, it looks like we've got a little Queens game going. I guess you call that a jack over there.
Boy, now you're way over my head.
So Queens is a game off. Essentially, they're playing 2-on-2 on the far side is the winner. So if the far side gets the point, they stay on the court. When your side gets the point, they shift to the far side. So you notice there that Adrian and Jordan got the point there, and so they stayed in place. Lexi.
Oh, there we got a score for the near court here.
Yes. Adrian Jordan hanging out. I don't want to chase that ball in the woods, so I'm just going to try to touch it.
I think she just got a hand on it, but didn't make it.
You're the defender. Hey, you told me to walk.
This is sort of the challengers are coming at us here. We're just going to pass this over.
That's a touch.
Alright, we got new winners going to the other side. Fred Henderson's set up and slotted over. Nate gets up on that one. Pushed over. Set up here for the left side.
Yeah, you notice sand is definitely a different game. Less structure to the positions, but a lot more reading the play. The players really have to decide what to block, what to block, what to and everyone's a setter, everyone's a hitter.
I think communication has to be really good about where is your partner play. Just because they think they want to swing from the left side doesn't mean that's how the play's going to go. You have to call that out and communicate well with adjustment. The other differences on the court, if you're new to sand, is there is no.
It's like a couple of the benches trying to get the kids together. Didn't really have a lot of COVID. The season essentially was canceled hours before they were headed to Denver to play a tournament. And
Chaotic. There was a lot of uncertainty around that Denver tournament. We were going to go. We're not going to go. It's going to be later. It's not going to be later. It's not going to happen at all. And that kind of happened with all of the events. And gradually, we had a feeling that nothing was going to happen anymore. So it is nice to be able to get together today here and kind of pay a little closer to the team and the season and just get everybody together, as you mentioned. That's what it's all about.
Okay, so as you can see, we are live. We are set up to take ball. We have questions, comments, concerns, or questions here.
Spring season and taking care of all of the we got a hit here into the broadcast position. A lot of varmint removal service calls these days, I'm sure, for any kind of winged insects. Mosquito season is here for sure. Lots of other things that he's probably busy with, but if there's any chance he's listening in, it would be fantastic to hear from our lead sponsor, Dan Stein from Prior Lake, Minnesota. Girls continue to play here. It's, as Mike mentioned earlier, we don't have any numbers. We got some names on the back of jerseys here. Everybody looks a little bit different out of their normal uniforms. So we'll be adjusting here and giving you a little commentary as we go. We're playing a game of Queens right now where the team on the opposite side is sort of the defending champions of that point. And then if they keep winning a point, they stay on the other side. And on the other hand, if the challengers come through, like you see right there, Jordan Brownlee, the lefty, putting that one down, now they take over that spot on the far court. So we have Coach Nate here and Jordan that are going to be, there's another point for them, so they stay over there on the champions side, I guess we'll call it that. And the challengers, next group comes up and gets their chance. So now that one goes in the net for Jordan, so we see a switch here now.
Certainly, Jim, we are in no way keeping score or track of who's got what, but it appears though Nate is behind early on.
It does look like he's fighting from behind here, trying to make up some points and get his team back into thing. Oh, big, huge lollipop serve there. And we got an attack here. Punched over. Laura's going to bring that one back up. Going to see if the challengers here can take their spot over on the champion side. We'll call it that.
And they do. Yeah, lots of times in the outdoor game, that big lollipop serve can be devastating. There is a slight breeze going cross court here. And so getting that ball up in the air, sometimes you get it in the sun. The wind plays with it a little bit.
Yeah.
Can be challenging.
A lot of other things to think about in the sand game. Part of it is your footing. There's a little bit of uncertainty there. You do definitely have the sun and the wind that come into play that are not part of the indoor game, or shouldn't be anyway. I guess it brings back memories of the Twins and their scandalous times when they were in the Metrodome with those big air intakes. That I think the opposition thought we were moving air around the stadium to win the World Series. But
Jim, it reminds me actually of 3 years ago today, to the date. My oldest was down in Orlando, and they made the championship bracket, and they were playing in the HP Sports Pavilion on an end court where there were windows up high. And it was devastating. It was earlier in the morning, so that sun was coming straight through. And if you were facing that, you saw many girls on the court holding up their hands because the sun was really right in the eyes and a factor.
Yeah, I think if you go to a lot of these older buildings, too, older arenas often did put windows in. I know Mankato West has windows in their gymnasium, and most of the events, of course, are played in the evening, so it doesn't really come into play at all. But there was an afternoon B squad match there that it did make a difference. So some of that can definitely be a little bit of a factor. It's 3 years ago for us too that Laura's first team here, 14 Black, won their AAU championship in that same building, the HP Pavilion there on the campus of the Wide World of Sports, which I think, if I understand right, is where a lot of these NBA teams are going to play if that
I think that's
comes
right.
off.
I think that's right.
I saw some headline today about sudden new breakout of COVID cases amongst the NBA players. So we'll see what develops with that. But I believe they are all at the Wide World of Sports facility down there outside Orlando.
Yeah, this is just a crazy situation with the COVID running rampant and the social unrest. It's something that I'll remember for a long time.
Oh, for sure. You talk about different social events that happen during your lifetime, and previous generations may have been defined by World War II or the Great Depression or events in the 60s and so forth, and maybe this is kind of our defining moment for And we got a call here. I'm going to take that here. Hello. You're calling in here to the Spolidoro Sports Network. This is Jim. Who is it? Who do we have on the line here? Hello. Do we have a caller on the line?
Is this
Is
muted?
that a sand volleyball going on?
Now we're on. Sorry, it took us a little bit of technical difficulties there. Who do we have calling in here to the Spolidoro Sports Network?
Oh, this is Lindsay Spolidoro, oldest daughter of producer Mike Spolidoro.
Well, Lindsay, welcome to the
all
program.
right.
You know, you're about 2 minutes late. I was just describing 3 years ago today your events in the HP Sports Pavilion, and maybe you could just share with us early in the day, that day the sun was pouring through the windows, and did that impact the play at all?
Oh yeah, I remember that. I remember being in the back row, and mid-rally I'd have to put my hand over my eyes to cover the sun, so it wasn't in my eyes, but it worked out, I guess.
Well, that would be an unexpected thing you would have to deal with, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Made it a little bit harder.
Exactly. It's almost like I was playing outside, sand volleyball.
Yeah, we were just talking about the additional challenges that come with sand. First, there's the court with a little bit of unevenness, and then the sun and the wind. We got a little bit of a breeze here that make things move around a little bit more that you would not have indoors.
I agree. Sand's a completely different game and uses a completely different volleyball IQ. Got to have a different vision of the court. Different shots are open that they wouldn't be usually on indoor.
Right. I had to do a little reading and some YouTube watching this morning just to get a little bit familiarized with the game, the differences in the rules, and how it flows. And you're right, it's a completely different game. If your specialty is indoor, it would be something to learn this and to be really good at it.
Speaking of volleyball IQ, Jim, I'm not convinced we're qualified to actually do what we're doing right now.
No, I don't think so either, and hence you're not getting the usual thing here, the play-by-play that we usually provide. I think it's going to be more of a laid-back day. We're going to just kind of converse here a little bit, and it's nice that we get some callers here early on that can kind of contribute to the. It's going to be more of a podcast, I think, than a play-by-play event here, just because of what the event is. It is an informal get-together. And we're having some laughs and some fun, and we're not going to take it too seriously here. But it is really good to be back out here and watching this great sport.
Yeah, I'm sure you guys are doing great out there.
We're trying hard. No, we're trying hard. We got a little game. It's twos, queens right now.
Okay.
There were 8 girls and a guy, and the guy has since taken a seat. I think he was run out of gas early.
Yeah, they must have forced him out there for a needed rest.
Yeah, that happens with sand.
Call back anytime.
Alrighty. Have fun out there.
Yep,
Will
thanks
do.
a
Thank
bunch.
you.
We'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye. All right. Well, that was
Well, that
nice.
was interesting. That was
caller there.
The suspicion maybe that
Company cell phone, so a few people know the number, and you know who you are. Use it wisely. Anyway, play continues here. The Champions Court has got Ella Masso and KJ Klimbarski back there defending theirs. I think they just lost out, so we
nice
switch here.
nice smash by Emma there right down the line.
Yeah, it was.
Klimbarski and Masso kind of looking at each other like, I thought that was your ball. I thought that was my ball. Was that in? Certainly was.
Challengers here are making their attempt, and they're going to take over there on Champions Court on the other side here. Again, we're at Ron Park in Egan. Really nice evening. That sun down a little bit, the heat drops off, and it's going to be really nice out here. We got a little breeze, so we apologize if there's some wind noise there.
Makes it real.
But it does, yeah.
Yeah, I got a little nervous, Jim, as I jumped in my car to come here. Down came the rain, and I thought, okay, well, that's interesting, but it looked clear to the west, so I
my personal volleyball skills are about a 0 on a scale of 0. So
on a scale of 5 to 10, you're at a 0?
Yeah, it's pretty much where it's at.
I bet you can do better than you would think.
Oh, our lead sponsor for 17 Red all year. Join us here. I imagine you're busy. There's got to be varmint type creatures, winged insects that you have to be taken care of. But how are things with you?
Well, great, and we have some exciting news as your sponsor. with the COVID situation and people staying indoors, I think they've been staying free of the alligators and crocodiles for the most part. But we decided, given our Minnesota roots, that we are expanding to mosquito, mosquito, not repair. What my job is, and it's an exterminator. Couldn't find the words.
Dan, do you also take care of the gnats?
Oh, gnats, no-see-ums, anything. We get them all.
That's good, because I've got some serious welts going on in the lower leg.
Yeah, they've been bad too.
Absolutely. So how are the ladies doing? It was great to see them getting out and getting the ball around.
Well, so far it looks pretty good. I think we see a little bit of fatigue coming in here. I'm not sure. Some people have been out maybe doing a little bit more than others. We got Coach Nate. He's back on both hands here. Shade is at a premium. Everybody's moving around, keeping themselves in the shade here, but the sun angle is going down, so it's covering kind of half of our court here so far. So people are having fun, and it's really good.
Awesome. Well, you may have to stop in Northfield's living room afterwards and have a refreshing drink.
Yeah, we may end up someplace down there. That's for sure. I threw a couple of cans in a cooler, but we're not exactly sharing too many things here. So I threw a small personal stash in case it would be necessary. So I don't like to get too far away without having a couple of beverages along. So.
It's important.
Awesome.
It's important to stay hydrated.
Yeah, it is.
It's
and
hot.
I made sure there's a little bit of carb in there and a little bit of water. So I don't know. That seems like that meets most of the nutritional requirements of the average person. So should be okay.
Yeah. I was talking to Lana, the nurse, and she agrees. She's 100% on board with your plan. So
okay,
you're on the right track.
That's good. It's nice to know that healthcare professionals agree with our strategy here.
All right, gentlemen. Well, I hope to see you guys soon. And I just wanted to, get a plug in for our new mosquito exterminator business, and let you know that we're on board for next year. Full advertising support from us, and maybe upgrade some equipment. I don't know. Who knows? If we can kill a lot of mosquitoes, we'll have some extra advertising dollars.
Well, that sounds really good, and as always, we sure appreciate you being our lead sponsor. We look forward to next year getting things back to normal and an exciting year, that's for sure. So thank you much for calling in, and we'll certainly be looking to talk to you soon.
Thanks.
All right, gentlemen, have a good night.
Yep. Thanks, Dan. Stay safe and stay healthy.
You too.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Wonderful to hear from Dan Stein. He's our lead sponsor. That's the Dan Stein Alligator Crocodile Environment Removal Services of Prior Lake, Minnesota.
Yeah, it's just great to hear he's expanding his business line, growing the business. I sure hope that's as a direct result of our viewership supporting his business. So it's great. Looks like we got a little change of pace here on the court, Jim. Stepped it up to 3-on-3. Little less activity, and I think one of the things in 3-on-3 is you are able to put a setter at the net, so you've kind of locked into your setter position. Still much different than sixes, but in a microcosm, a lot more the same sport, where you've got a receiving team and a setter and an attacking team.
Yeah, if you watch on the twos game, the setters are almost always using a bump set. I picked that up today watching a little bit, that the overhand set is not used much in twos for sand, but you may see that a little bit more here, where you have kind of a dedicated, as Mike mentioned, a dedicated setter up at the net there.
Yeah, I still can't quite figure out who that gentleman is over there on the other side of the net, but he seems to be talking to the girls and giving them some advice. He must be an experienced sand volleyball player. Yeah,
he's somebody I've seen someplace before. He resembles these celebrities. You say, boy, I just know that face, and I think that we'll figure that out here.
Yeah, I think that the sunglasses are throwing me off a little bit.
Well, that's thrown me off on recognizing faces, I'll tell you that. We talk about where everybody wearing masks these days, and a couple of things are lost. One, if you don't know someone well, you may not recognize them with the mask, but the more important thing is that the facial expressions that we make to sort of convey conversation are lost when you're wearing that mask, and that is really a difficult thing.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's no numbers out there.
Nope.
It would really throw us off if they switched shirts and wore each other's shirts. That would really
that would be
cause
tough.
A problem.
We got a couple of names on the back here, so for our near court here, we can we can call a little bit. But you guys can see the action, so we're going to kind of let you enjoy the. Oh, we got a foot save there. Now that was good.
That's for a point, Jim.
That was awesome. That's
certainly a legal play.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the best one we've seen here so far. Very athletic move there by Audrey up at the net.
I think they caught him sleeping a little bit, Jim.
It seems that way. That had to be a double contact. There's no ref here to call that. I guess the play continues. A little better set there by Coach Nate. Comes over, big gig, and that one drops into the sand.
It's good hustle. Laura, feel free to get in the play.
All right, we got KJ Klimbarski is going to put this one in play. Audrey on the set.
Quick set.
Popped over by Jordan. Laura's
good talk. Good talk.
Oh, nice backhanded flip there from Audrey.
Oh,
should
have got up and blocked that one.
Oh, that's a point for the. I don't know what we're just gonna
the
call
far
the
side.
Far court, the far side,
near side and the far side.
We'll go with Gary Larson's the far side. And
we need some ball shaggers. I'm gonna see if I can help out here, Jim.
All right. Klimbarski sends over another serve here, and the near court. Nate pops that one over on the overpass. It's a score for the far court. The far side, near side. We'll go with that. We got a pretty good selection appearance here, visiting, enjoying getting together again after many months and weeks away from what was expected to be a fantastic season, and was for the short time that we were together. It was a great season. But it's kind of nice for people to catch up here a little bit in the park at a nice spot here with some shade for people to sit in, and really nice to catch up a little bit with everybody.
Yeah, Jim, so I just went to shag some balls because I see them really kind of struggling to keep up with chasing the balls in, running around the sand. I picked up this ball. This is interesting. We're going to have to ask Nathan. So it says Ixtapa, Mexico, 2017.
Oh.
But it's got some signatures on here. So
it almost looks like it would be a souvenir ball there. I'm not sure why.
Well, I know Coach Nate, I think, and Laura as well. They go down and play in Mexico, and Nate's talked to me a little bit about they enter these tournaments. They enter as individuals, and they get paired up with a pro, and it's kind of this round robin thing. They keep track of points and how they're doing, and so they play with the pro, they play with others, and so
nice.
He says it's a ton of fun.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, I haven't gotten the call to come down and help yet. Still waiting. I wonder.
Still waiting on that.
Yeah, my number might have gotten lost.
We got a good long rally going here, and as I say that, it ends. Almost the entire court in the shade here. I think that might have been why you don't see the ball shagging. Nobody wants to run into the sun.
Right. Yeah, our broadcast position has not quite
no, it isn't panning out
shade.
quite like what we thought, but we'll get our vitamin D
for
the day, and then in a few minutes here, I think we'll be in the shade.
Well, we get some the advantage of a long cord here, Jim, is I'm actually largely in the shade.
Yeah, these are kind of nice that way. I like that they let you move a little bit further away.
Well, we got to stay social distanced, so
Yeah, there's that.
We're
they're at least each of the cords are at least 5 feet long, so that allows us to stay the required 6 feet apart. Recommended, I guess.